Welcome to Chat and Dish. I'm Casey Quadetti, and today we're going to celebrate fresh pumpkins. Yeah, they're good for a lot more than just making jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween night. So today I want to show you how to make your own pumpkin puree, easiest thing in the world. We're going to take our pumpkins, cut them in half, clean them out with an ice cream scoop. It makes it really, really easy. Turn them flesh side down. Bake them in a 400-degree oven for about 40 minutes. Let them cool. Scoop out the puree. It's easy, comes right out like that, and then just blend them for about 3 minutes, and you've got your own homemade pumpkin puree. Now, let's talk about the other things we're going to make. Pumpkin lasagna is what we're going to work on first. It's absolutely fabulous. We're going to start off by making a simple red sauce with a little bit of sausage in it. And while that's going, we're going to make ourselves the most delicious pumpkin spice bundt cake. Oh, and here's a little treat. It's also great for breakfast. Red sauce begins with 1 medium onion that you finely chop. Pop your onions into a nice large saute pan with 3 tablespoons of olive oil over medium heat until your onions are translucent. It's going to take about 7 to 10 minutes for our onions to become translucent, so in the meantime, let's peel and chop 4 cloves of garlic. Thinly slice 8 ounces of baby portobello mushrooms that you have wiped down with just a damp paper towel. Add Italian sausage now. This is out of the casing. You don't want it in the casing. Just pop it in and break it up. I used 2 sausages. You can use up to a pound. Me, I just like a little flavor of the sausage. Our sausage is lightly browned and just cooked through. Now, add your mushrooms and your garlic. You're going to let these cook for about 5 minutes. Mushrooms are nicely cooked. We're adding a half a cup of a really nice hearty Bordeaux. Remember, use the wine that you're going to serve with the dish when you're cooking. Never buy a cheap wine for cooking. While your wine is reducing by half, chop a 1/4 cup each of fresh basil and fresh oregano. Add your fresh herbs and 26 ounces of tomato sauce. Simmer for 15 minutes. All right, mix 1 cup of your pumpkin puree. Ooh, this is absolutely gorgeous. And you know, fresh pumpkin tastes great, as is. Add 1 egg and mix those 2 together, then set it aside. 2½ cups of ricotta cheese, a cup of shredded mozzarella, and a half a cup of pecorino romano. Just simply mix these together. Thinly slice 2 zucchinis. Put a nice ladle of your sauce, spread it around the bottom of your lasagna dish. Top with your lasagna noodles. I'm using the no-bake noodles. If you like the ones that you actually boil and then drain, go ahead and use those. It's really fine, whatever your preference is. Top the noodles with half of your pumpkin mixture and then just spread it around evenly. Half of our zucchini go in next. Half of our cheese mixture. Just spread that around. Okay, now another layer of sauce and then just start all over again. Noodles, zucchini, cheese, pumpkin, okay? Top your lasagna with a nice full cup of grated mozzarella. Now it's into a preheated 350-degree oven for 40 minutes until it's nice and bubbly and all melted together. Ooh, for our pumpkin spice bundt cake, measure out 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon allspice, and 1/2 teaspoon salt. Whisk these together. Make sure it's mixed in well and then set aside. Combine 1 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree, 3/4 cup buttermilk. Give it a good shake before you measure it out, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Give these a good stir to combine well and set them aside. Combine 1 1/4 cup of white sugar with 1½ sticks of softened butter. You want to beat this together until it's light and fluffy. Add 3 eggs, 1 at a time, mixing for about a minute in between each addition. Add 1/3 of your flour mixture and 1/3 of your pumpkin mixture and mix that up well. Another 1/3 of your pumpkin mixture and another 1/3 of your flour. Make sure that you scrape your bowl down in between also. Add your remaining pumpkin and flour. Mix 2 minutes on medium speed. Okay, our cake batter goes into a prepared Bundt pan, buttered and floured or sprayed with nonstick spray. Get that into your Bundt pan and you're going to bake it for about 45 minutes in a 350-degree preheated oven. Nice thing is, if you do this and the pumpkin lasagna on the same night, they can bake at the same time. Perfect, huh? Before putting this in the oven, I want you to smooth your batter all the way around so that it's nice and even. And then take your pan and give it 3 or 4 really good hard taps on your counter. That gets the air bubbles out, makes it bake a little bit better. Here's our lasagna, hot and bubbly right out of the oven. You need to let it rest for about 15 minutes before you cut and serve. Okay, right at 45 minutes, our toothpick came out nice and clean, so the cake is done. We need to let it sit for 15 minutes before we take it actually out of the Bundt pan. And in the meantime, let's make a little bit of frosting. I have a 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of our buttermilk. And then I'm going to mix these together. If it needs a little bit more, no problem, we'll just add it. Okay, this is a perfect consistency for drizzling on top of the cake once we turn it out of the Bundt pan. And yes, we're going to drizzle this on a warm cake. I know that's unusual, but that's how we work on this one. Okay, let's unmold this spice cake. Ooh. Okay, so if we're really good bakers, it's going to come right out and be absolutely perfect. Okay, let's see if we get an A on our cake. Yay! Ah, look at that. Let's just drizzle our powdered sugar icing all across the top of our cake, and then we can cut and serve. I know pumpkin lasagna sounds a little bit odd, but don't be deterred. The first time I tried putting pumpkin in my lasagna, my family originally said, you've got to be kidding. They stormed around the house, you're ruining the lasagna, you're ruining the lasagna. By the time it came out of the oven, they were so hungry because it smelled so good. They tasted it. They have loved it ever since. I'm so excited. First shout out today goes to my friend Josie and her blog, Off the Hook on the Plate, for smoked salmon tropical bites. Now listen, Josie loves to fish, and she did this recipe for a competition and she won. So this is an award-winning appetizer. You simply must try it. Get over and visit Josie at Off the Hook on the Plate and make sure you pick up on the recipe for smoked salmon tropical bites. Okay, second shout out today is a little bit nostalgic because we are going to be visiting Canning Granny, and we're going to check out her oranges in Cointreau syrup. Ooh, I got to tell you, they're really fabulous. The blog is all about canning, her joy of canning. She's got great recipes, phenomenal photographs. It's like looking through a magazine. Definitely get your canning ideas on over at Canning Granny, and make sure you check out oranges in Cointreau. As always, thank you for visiting. Until next time, I'm going to miss you. Oh, I would love to hear how you and your family like both of these pumpkin dishes. Okay, no bragging, it's fabulous.